Hi, this is the Business Guy coming to you from my hotel balcony in beautiful Beverly Hills, California. I'm here for a wedding, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other digital currencies and if they're good investments. And then we'll talk about the crypto ETF or exchange traded funds and my analysis as to whether or not you should put your money into them. Now, we accept payment in cryptocurrency in our business, so I've had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin and other crypto pass through my digital wallets on my mobile phone, so I speak from experience. Hi, I'm the Business Guy, and we're answering the question, is cryptocurrency a good investment? And if you're watching this video on YouTube, please take your mouse or thumb and click the like button below so YouTube will promote this video. Thank you so much. And you can also click the subscribe button and notification bell so that when more videos come out like this, you'll be up to date right away. Now, is cryptocurrency a good investment? Bitcoin is a currency that was created in 2009 and transactions are made with no middlemen, meaning no banks. There are small transaction fees and no need to give your real name. More merchants such as our company accept them. You can buy Amazon gift cards. You can pay for our services of protecting assets from lawsuits through setting up asset protection trusts, LLCs, offshore banking. And I was looking online and saw where you could buy cars, furniture, food, real estate, medicine, and so on. Now, although Bitcoin has been the lead crypto from the get-go, Ethereum has emerged as a force to be reckoned with in 2015 and is perhaps the only other token with any business being regarded as a blue chip crypto. Now, Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency invented by software engineers Billy Marcus and Jackson Palmer, who decided to create a payment system that's instant, fun, and free from traditional banking fees. Comments on Twitter from Elon Musk has sparked the popularity of this coin. Now, what about using them as investments? And what is a cryptocurrency ETF as an investment? An exchange-traded fund, or ETF, is a fund based on a financial product that lists its shares on mainstream stock exchanges alongside traditional equities. So this gives them far more liquidity than other mutual funds. In other words, you can buy and sell shares of an ETF as easily as you can buy and sell shares of stock. Now, where mutual funds generally have strict trading rules that somewhat limit their liquidity, for example, whether you're buying or selling shares of a mutual fund, most mutual funds execute trades once per day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, after the close of the market. And they're typically posted by 6 p.m. An ETF, on the other hand, trades like a stock. So you can go ahead and buy and sell during market hours, and the trade happens right away as long as there's somebody there who wants to buy or sell your shares. And as a fund-based product, an ETF is made up of a collection of assets, and the fund will invest in a portfolio of securities selected around a specific theme. For example, you might create a technology ETF, in which case the fund would be made up of assets in and around high technology companies. Or you might have an S&P 500 index fund, which could hold a mix of assets designated to track the S&P 500 index. The return of any given ETF is based on the overall return of its various assets, and this return will generally be more stable than investing in a single asset. You lose the potential for runaway gains that you might have in a single stock, but you also might mitigate the risk if a single stock loses value. A cryptocurrency ETF is a fund that takes its value from the cryptocurrency markets. This can mean one of two things. The fund might invest exclusively in cryptocurrencies. It'll be made up of exclusively products such as Bitcoin and Ethereum tokens, and as a result, the value of the fund will reflect the value of the cryptocurrencies that it holds. The fund might invest in cryptocurrencies as an asset class. This means the fund might hold some direct investments in cryptocurrencies, but it also might invest in companies around the crypto marketplace. For example, it might hold shares of stock in cryptocurrency marketplace companies or companies which make their crypto wallets and other trading tools. Or the fund might invest in futures and options contracts built around cryptocurrencies. So the overall goal will be to reflect the value of the cryptocurrencies as an asset while avoiding some of the risks involved in buying the specific products. So should you invest in a crypto ETF? Now we'll get to my opinion, so I'll give you one. Some people over the short term have seen increases in the value as the cryptocurrencies have become more popular. Some have had less favorable timing and have seen decreases. So over the long term, I do not think it is a better investment over the long term than buying US dollars as an investment. Frankly, I love cryptocurrency. I love it for the convenience and that you can send or receive money to somebody and get paid 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But keep in mind, as a digital currency, it's still a currency. It means that you can buy goods and services, but not an investment because of one word: predictability. It is a non-performing asset. And non-performing assets such as gold, coins, classic cars, etc. With gold, you dig a hole, melt it down into blocks, and then you dig another hole, put the blocks into the hole, and then you pay somebody to guard it. As an asset class, non-performing assets have fared far worse than stock market investments. For example, for the past 100 years, silver has had a return of 4,067%. Gold, 8,598%. Not bad, you might think. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has had a return of 42,816%, and the S&P 500, 57,348%. And during that time, just like cryptocurrencies, gold has had years where it outperformed the stock market by a lot. But over the long term, the stock market has outproduced metals by a lot. So we're talking about long-term investing. Now, why? The reason is that companies produce and non-performing assets don't. Profitable corporations create value. They produce goods and services for a profit. The stock price today, tomorrow, or next week is just a distraction because over the long term, the price follows the corporate profits. When you invest in their stock, you may participate in that profit. You can study the roots, such as Apple coming out with a hot new product and anticipate profit growth. You can see its cash reserves and debt and make a reasonable analysis as to the safety and future growth. With digital currency, you might have supply and demand and maybe a few other factors. It's called the greater fool theory. That is, you hope that if you buy it, a greater fool will come along and pay you more. That's it. There are no reliable roots that I know of that can reasonably predict whether it will go up or down. If Apple iPhones suddenly stink and they make terrible products, you can reasonably predict that those profits, therefore their stock price, will follow it down the drain. And if they keep cranking out better and better technology that people love, it's a pretty decent indicator the stock price will go up as well. And here's another big thing that I really want you to think about. When you look at an investment long term, you want to make sure the company has a moat. Like a ditch they would dig around the castle. They put water in it, maybe some alligators back in the old days. So go ahead and try to compete with Amazon right now with their distribution centers all over the country and products that sometimes can get to you the next day or even the same day. Try to blink and set up all these distribution centers all over the country and develop relationships with millions of merchants. Hard to compete with, right? With cryptocurrency, however, you have nearly an unlimited number of new cryptocurrencies that the next guy might invent that could water down the market. It's the exact opposite of a moat. It's virtually unlimited competition that can happen instantly. I mean, one guy can invent 40 different cryptocurrencies, then somebody else can invent 100. So unlike Apple, which has a huge fan base and very difficult technology to replicate with all of their patent protections, with cryptocurrency, you have a nearly unlimited competition to flood the market. So in my view, you do not have the reliable roots to study as you would intelligent investment such as corporate stock, and you have unlimited competition. So no, I do not see Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency as an investment over the long term. I mean, I would not leave tons of money into it. And then these crypto ETFs are like stupid on steroids. That's just my opinion. You just watch over the long term how they do. Over the long term, that is. Now, I agree this may be contrary to the recent experience where we've seen tremendous returns in Bitcoin, Ethereum, more recently Dogecoin and its cousin Shiba Inu, and whatever next is going to come along. But people have made tons of money at the blackjack table too. And that doesn't mean I'm going to go ahead and throw my whole investment portfolio at some dealer in Las Vegas. So over the short term, you may or may not see outrageous returns. But in the long term, and hey, don't take this as investment advice. After all, I'm just some guy on YouTube. But I can almost promise you, looking far into the future, it's not going to end well as an investment, just my humble opinion. But as a business owner, as long as it's legal and it's easily convertible into cash, which it is, I want to leave the door wide open when it comes to giving customers options to pay me. And I think it's extremely convenient. You can send it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and unlike sending a wire transfer, which depends on banking hours and the Fed, and no money moving on the weekends, so frankly, I love it as a means to pay and get paid. So if you're not as familiar with cryptocurrency, you might ask, how much information do I need in order to use it? Now, do you understand every detail of how your television transmits signals to the sights and sounds you see on the screen? I don't. Very few people do. We just turn it on and use it without knowing these details. It's analogous to a digital currency. You can dig up the roots and study every aspect of it, if that's your thing. But for most of us, you just need to know how to use it and how to keep it safe. So is cryptocurrency here to stay? I think it is, at least for the near future, until a superior technology comes along. And frankly, I love it as a means of exchange, but not as an investment over the long term. Meanwhile, whether you agree or not, I hope you find my perspective helpful. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Thanks for watching. This is The Business Guy.